So I'm Dr. Dennis Cheruiyot, the Deputy Dean of Students at Dedan Kimathi University. Let me welcome you to Dedan Kimathi University. Feel welcomed and receive welcome from the university management, being headed by the acting VC, Professor Peter Mushiri. DECUT has come a long way. It started as in 1972 as Kimathi Institute of Technology, but it received the first students in 1978. In 2007, it was elevated to be a constituent college of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. And in 2012, December, that is on 14th December, it was given a charter to be a fully fledged university, and that's where we now got the name Dedan Kimathi University of Technology. So DECUT has a lot of it has a duty as a university to help the students both academically and socially. So the academic life of the student can never be complete without the social parts. So that's where we come as the Directorate of Students Welfare to ensure that the students in Dedan Kimathi University benefit from a holistic kind of education and approach, so that after class they'll be able to socialize and be advised accordingly on how they can live life outside class. And that is why we have at the Directorate, we have several clubs whereby students can join and participate, so that they can benefit from it and also learn from each other, because there is a lot to learn from outside the class. And this now informed the creation of the DECUT Empowered Men, whereby the Boychild come together and then they discuss their issues as men. We have a similar one also for the ladies, the empowered ladies. So the Directorate is ensuring that all the students benefit from these programs. So the main focus for today is the one for the DECUT Empowered Men, which is headed by the chair here, Shelton Ombachi, with also the leadership of the student union led by Dennis Kimtai here. And also we have Pastor Kidai, who is the student counselor, who is doing now a bigger role in terms of counseling the students. These students, when you see them, they go through a lot of things in life, because having them coming from different backgrounds, we handle students from the very needy backgrounds up to the well-off backgrounds. So how do we bridge the gap so that they feel at home and they feel that they can be who they want to be after this education. So that is just a brief about what we do as the DSW. Just to add on what I had mentioned earlier about how we are ensuring our students are preoccupied while in campus, as I've mentioned, we are handling students who are from different backgrounds. So there are some services offered by the Directorate, starting from what we call the work study program. Work study program is a program where we identify the needy cases, and then the university will place them to work on when they are not in class. They are given they are placed in different places around the university. For instance, I can give an example of we can have a needy student. So when we realize this student is deserving assistance from us, this student is placed, for example, let's say at the university library, to go and help staff at the university library, and then the hours this student is working will be recorded, and then it will be accumulated. By the end of the semester, we do the total hours, and then we give a specific amount of money per hour. So this amount, normally the student can decide to use it to pay the fees. They can use it to buy food. They can use it for accommodation. So at least it will give the student some kind of a soft landing. If you imagine if this student was to wait for something from home, so this amount will be able to at least push the student to at least a better place. So, and then we have also in the part of the clubs, we have several clubs and the faith-based groups. So let me start with the faith-based. Faith-based, we have 4 groups, starting from the Christian Union, whereby it takes care of the Protestant believers. And then we have the CA, the Catholic Action, which takes care of the Catholics. And then we have the SDA group. And then we have the Answar Muslims, which accommodates the Muslims. So in terms of religion, the university ensures that all the students are well taken care of. There is freedom of worship in this country, so everyone is should feel included, and the university is inclusive in that regard. And then now we have now the other clubs. So we have, for instance, the music and drama club, whereby when the students have come out of class and now they want to flex their muscles a bit, now they come to their clubs after classes, and then they can practice. And I can mention this here, that the drama club has been doing a lot of work actually here when we have functions. So for instance, when you have graduation, there is a part of entertainment, so the university normally gives them a chance to perform, and the guests really appreciate their performance, and also the management is really happy when they showcase their talents, because this is a place where the students are able to utilize their talent outside class. So then we also have one for outdoor activities, whereby outdoor, this one is we have an outdoor instructor that assists students in coordinating the outdoor activities. The most recent one being Climb to Educate, whereby students were taken to Mount Kenya for 4 days. This program of Climb to Educate, it's a way of assisting other students to be able to raise something small for the fees. So students normally come together, and as you are aware, when you want to go to the mountain, you don't just wake up one morning then you say you want to climb Mount Kenya. So this is a rigorous journey that the students normally go through, whereby they are trained for a very long period, and then before they go to Mount Kenya, they're normally taken to these other excursion places like the Nyana Hills, the Nyeri Hill, so that they practice with the small ones. As they succeed in those ones, now they go to a bigger one. By the time it gets to the day whereby they are going to climb Mount Kenya, they've done enough practice. And it's also worth noting that the group that went to Mount Kenya recently, all of them got to the top, and that's why we say we are very happy when we see success rates like that, because it's not always automatic. When you are increasing the altitude, the amount of oxygen molecules normally drop. So depending on how your body will be able to adjust to the dropping levels of oxygen molecules, you find some people might not make it to the top. And the rule that the outdoor instructor has been mentioning is that when he goes with the students to the mountain and he notices anything is an emergency kind of, normally the first thing is to bring the student to a lower ground, because now if the student was okay at this lower ground, the body will adjust fairly and then it will come back to normal. So but in the last excursion, they did a very good job. And then we also have the one for the environment club. They are the ones who take care of the environment around. We have the Kut cycling club. These are the guys who do a lot of cycling. We have the skating club. We have The modeling club, that's a club whereby the students can practice the modeling skills. This is where the Mr. and Miss Kimathi fall. So they teach the other students as well. The one for the environment club, they are the ones who take care of the environment around. We have the good cycling club. These are the guys who do a lot of cycling. We have the skating club. We have the modeling club. That's a club whereby the students can practice the modeling skills. This is where the Mr. and Miss Kimathi fall. So they teach the other students as well. For anybody who wants to start that skill of modeling, they do that. So that's just a snippet of what DSW can offer to the students outside class, because this is a very crucial part of the students, because we normally say if you just put a student in a class without practice or even playing a bit, it's not very healthy. So this is a good thing. Yeah, the academic side, apart from the social, is also doing very well. For us as the DSW, we normally focus more on the social side of the students, the welfare of the students. The departments are doing a very good job in ensuring that the students are well taken care of academically on the academic side. And this is where now you find, we normally say departments own the students. So when a student reports to the university, they belong to departments. So departments actually and institutes normally do a very good job. For instance, I can give you an example of, you can have a student in class who is not behaving well. For us as the Directorate of Student Welfare, we might not get to know most of those issues. So, but when a lecturer goes to class and realizes, let's say a student is, when he or she is teaching, there's a student who is sleeping, then that's a signal of something that is not adding up. So what they normally do, they try to inquire afterwards what's happening. When they realize that the student needs some social supports, now they refer the student to Directorate of Student Welfare, and that's now where we take up the issue, and then now we forward the case to the counseling departments where Pastor Kidha is working, whereby the counselors, their main job actually now is to handle that part, whereby, because as a lecturer, if you go to class, you might not understand the psychology behind most of the issues that the students have, but you will be a very good person to identify those issues and then let us know. So because remember, we normally say prevention is better than cure. So we can get, for instance, let's say a lecturer notices that my class normally has 50 students, but there is this one student who never comes to class. So what the lecturer would do is to report the case to the head of the chair of departments. The chair of department will forward the case to us, and currently in DECUT we have a group of social workers employed by the university. These social workers, their role is now to do the outreach to the students, because the counseling department might not be able to move from hostel to hostel. So the university employed social workers, now they'll be directed from the counseling department. This social work group is under the counseling, so they'll be told, we've been given this information, there is a student by the name so and so, he or she is residing in this hostel, and he or she is showing some funny character. So they are the ones now who will go there, and these social workers actually, they're also trained counselors, so at least they can understand some of those issues. So they talk to the students, and then within a short time, at least now they're able to convince the student to come and see the counselors so that they can be assisted. We have some situations whereby a student can identify that I'm not okay, and then they come to the counseling. And then we have those others now who are suffering, but they don't know they have the problem. So those are now the ones, and also it's good to mention this, apart from social workers, we also have the student peer counselors who are trained by the counseling departments, so that now they can increase the outreach, because these fellow students, you see, they are staying with the other students, so they can easily identify. They can say, I can see John is the way he's behaving, it's not okay. The way, let's say, Mary is behaving, it's not okay. So they are the ones again now who report to the counseling departments, and then our counseling department will act accordingly and look for a way to help the students. So this is it's a holistic kind of approach, and I would say that in DECUT, we normally say the boss actually is a student. Without the student, we wouldn't be here. So we have to take care of their interests and ensure that we are given as students in first year. By the time they are leaving here after their final year, either fifth year for engineers and the fourth year for the other courses, we are producing a strong man or lady who will be able to serve the community and the country better.
So, John?
So, as you've heard, these challenges actually are situations that are with us. We cannot assume that they are not there. So this team that we have at the Directorate of Children Welfare are well equipped, they are well trained to assist these students. So with regards to the social and the counseling bits, let me invite my colleague Pastor Kidai to give a brief on how they handle these challenges that our students normally go through, and the way how they handle up to the end when a student goes home, for instance, maybe the student is not feeling well. When they've come back and then now finish their studies, how do you feel as counseling departments? Over to you, Reverend.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I am excited this morning to get this chance to share what we do. But before I do so, I want just to highlight probably some of the challenges we're having and the reason why we're having these challenges. Number one is that we are still now in the post-COVID 2019 effects, and we are feeling the effects now. You know, there are many things happened. Jobs, to many parents, their jobs did not collapse, and many are not having jobs. So the effect we are feeling today, we had many young people stay at home for a long time, and several of them got into drugs, because you well know when young people, they don't get time to go to school, there is a peer influence. So the effects of the COVID-19, we are feeling them now. And so we are having a lot of drugs, a lot of students who are having challenges and not able to cope well. So those are some of the challenges. The other thing that has caused a lot of challenges is we all know about the global effect, the climatic change. It has affected our country. We are having students coming from various parts of this nation, and in some parts of the nation we've not had rain for many years. And so the parents who have relied on agriculture have been problems. So the issue of funding has caused a lot of problems. So there is many students who have had a lot of uncertainty. The effects of what is happening in our country, challenges of finances, has also affected our students. Health, one of the main major financial partner of our students, has not been doing very well. The allocations have not been in timely, and many a times some students have not got the allocations. So the things that are happening, the Ukraine-Russia war has made the cost of living very high. You know, the cost of the fuel is high, and this affects our students. So the things that are happening not only in the nation but in the world has affected our students. So these challenges come, and as the director has said, that those students come to us, and we normally have several sessions with them. The first kind of counseling we have is individual. This is whereby if we, as director said, a student has been identified by, let's say, the lecturer, and he is sent to us. We have the sessions, we have that one-to-one, we call it personal counseling. At times we also have students who come because they're having challenges. Let's say one is doing a career and he feels that that's not what he wanted. So we have time on one-on-one. But we also have times when we have two, let's say a young man and lady, they're in a relationship. This is what we call couple counseling, whereby the two may be having challenges. We take them through. We are able to talk to them. We're able to work with them. At times they are in a relationship and it's not working. So we have that. We also have group counseling. At times we have students having the same issue. Let's say at times students who have issues with drugs, we take them together and we are able to have session with them. At times we also have grief counseling. Truth be said is that we wish our students to finish their studies, but once in a while it's unfortunate we lose some because of accidents, because of illness, and what happens is that we then have within 72 hours getting report of the diagnosis of a student. We normally have a session with the students, the classmates and those who are affected, and have a session with them to help them to be able to cope and to accept that one of them has passed on and they need to move on. So that is grief counseling. And also during that season, we are able to work with the students during the burial. Let's say for example, during the burial, we go with some students. The university is very kind, normally provides transport for students and also some staff, both from the academic and from our directorate. So then we work with them, and that has been very good. I want to especially cite an example where we had one of our students who was sick, and together with the students, we worked with them together. We were able to call the student, we were able to work with them, and unfortunately the student passed on, and we had the time to go to meet the students, the ones that had been left by their friends. We had a session with them, and then during the day of burial we went, and during that day it was a very sorrowful day, but during that period the students thought of an idea that they wanted to remember their student who had passed on. So when the students came back over here, they purposed and said they would want to plant trees. And it also happened that that was the time we had the Pwani accident, where we had a bus that had an accident. So the students did tree planting to remember their student who had passed on, and also to walk in solidarity with the students of Pwani. So that is for grief counseling. We also now, as the director said, we also go to the students. And how is that? We normally have something called coffee hour. This was introduced at the University of Samia Spark, whereby the students from different schools, institutes, they come up, they have a time to socialize. They have a time whereby the lecturer comes, and together with now from our department, from the counseling, the social worker, someone from DFAO. DFAO is financial aid office. The students go and the staff go and interact with the students. So the students are able to, in that atmosphere, to share their challenges, and the students are helped. We have in the university, we have a place where we call challenge course. This is a place where the university has made a leisure place whereby there are trees and the environment is a good class, where people go there and have a time to relax, and the students go there and have some team building activities. So during those sessions, the counselors are able to talk to the students, sensitize to them on issues of counseling, issues that they need to know, and that helps a lot. We also have, we also work a lot with the other departments and the other university staff. For example, I want to cite especially security. Truth be said is that some students have indulged in drugs. Some students are victim. They have found themselves abusing drugs. But we also have others who are trafficking, who are involved in drugs. So we work a lot with the security so that those who are having challenges of taking drugs, we work with them, we refer to the medical center, but and then some eventually have to go to rehabs. But those who are trafficking, because truth be said is that we have found one or two who are trafficking drugs, they are referred to the security, and the security takes them to there's a way that the students who are trafficking, because trafficking, that is a crime. And then we also work a lot with the hostel providers, and this is one of the programs, I must say, is one of the very programs that is helping us a lot. What we do is that we normally organize a training for the hostel providers, whereby we go and empower them. As the counselors, for example, we help them to know how to identify students who are taking drugs, students who have mental issues, and the hostel providers, once they have been empowered, they're able to call us, and also we give them the number of our office, and they're able to call us. I must say that during the COVID season, the counseling department did a wonderful job. What we did is that we had some write-ups that we did so that the students who are far at home and other places were able to go to our website and read and be able to see the articles. Even now the articles are still there, so a student who is having challenges is able to contact us. Thank you. We have several challenges, and as you all know that Kenya, and not only Kenya, the world, we are having the financial challenges. So that is one of the things that has challenged us, because as director said, we have various trainings. We have the peer counselors who we normally empower. We take them through a 1-week session, and during various times we want to have seminars. Let me just give an example. After the elections that we had last year, which was a bit emotive, we realized that our students were stressed, just like in the nation. So we organized a training, and we were only able to have 45 students. If we had more funds, we would have wanted to take a bigger group. So finances is one of the challenges. And as a growing university, the other thing is that as the space, because as you've heard, we have several social workers and counselors. So some of us have to have at times to share a room, like the social workers. We ideally want all of them to have a space, but that has not been possible. But we are happy. Now, the challenge that one of the challenges, that major challenge, is something that is happening. We having some of our students who are having challenges, not because of their own, but this is because of the families they are coming from. We call this that students who are coming from dysfunctional families. These are students who they are coming from families whereby the parents probably are separated, divorced, and others who are having challenges in the family. So you find that we have absent parents. The father is absent, the father is an alcoholic, the mother is probably also having challenges. So this child, we are not able to help because not unless the parents agree, and let's say at times we invite them to come over. That is one of the challenges. So that is it. Also, the other challenge that we are having is that those students who are abusing drugs. Drugs of late have becoming a great menace, because we are having some students who are abusing drugs, and they take drugs, and the drugs really affect them, so that you find that one is not able to operate. So in as much as we would want to help them back on their feet, some they have to go to the rehab, and some of them, a few of them, mentally become affected. Then there is another group that I must say at times is hard. Those students who have had disciplinary issues. This is truth be said is that we are living in a society, and we have had some students involved in exam irregularity, and that is normally a very tough time for us when we go for disciplinary, and we see some of our students who are very good but were tempted to cheat in an exam. So that is also another group that is very challenging for us. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I must say that, as I said, is that we involve the parents. We call them, we invite them to the university. But as you know, we are limited. Our client is the student. So once we invite the parents, some parents have agreed to come, but some haven't, and that our hands are limited. So that one is one of the challenges, because our client, the person that we need to support, is a student. So if the parent refuses to come, that becomes limiting, and we can go as much, we cannot go more than that. But way forward, we plan to have a training for our students, whereby we are going to empower them and help them realize that they may not change. There are things we cannot change. Yeah, there is a serenity prayer where I say, God help me to accept the things that to change the things I can, and to accept the things I cannot change. So that's one of it.
Yes, hello, I'm Shelton Ombachi. I'm a 5th-year student. I'm a finalist from the field of electrical engineering, and I'm the chairperson of the Empowered Recruitment Club. So Empowered Recruitment Club is a club that was formed last year, August, and it's a club that is aimed on empowering men. Our motto is always empowering men for a better future, or for a better tomorrow. So what we do technically as a club is we come together because we realize that with the rise of feminism and other people and other bodies boosting the girl child, the boy child is on the fall. So what we do technically is we get empowered, not exactly to downshine the ladies, but then to uplift men so that the men can stand up to their roles that we are losing as men. And above all, is the main aim of the club is also for us to identify ourselves as men. We are the leaders. We need to lead the ladies, and for us to be able to have a successful society, we have to have men who know who they are, men who identify themselves as men, and men who can stand up to their responsibilities as the men. So what we do, we partner with other clubs in the university, like the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Club, so that if we have issues of drugs and addiction issues in the school, we are able to solve them. We partner also with the peer counseling to deal with issues of the mental health, because mental health is an issue with the boy child, and most of the men, they don't speak out. So after realizing that most of the men, they don't speak out, but if we have a club, we have a platform that we understand each other, that we can talk freely like brothers, they are able to open up, and then we link them up to the counseling department so that they can be helped on the mental issues. We also partner with the KUNSA, which is the Kut Nursing Students Association Club, for issues to do with health issues to do with masturbation, pornography, addiction, and the STIs, the HIV. We also partner with the AFSA. AFSA is the Accounting Finance Students Association, so that our men can get empowered on issues to do with financial literacy. So those are the people we empower with, and also we work one-on-one with the Empowered Recruit ladies, because sometimes there are things we might think we know, but then we don't know them, and it's always good to talk to that person who you are interacting with to know what does she want. So that's why we partner with the good ladies. They give us insights of what they expect from the men. We give them insights of what we should be giving them back. And also, we invite them to our meetings. We always have meetings weekly. We invite them to our meetings so that we can discuss and see the way forward as men, as we get empowered, and them as they get empowered too, as the ladies, so that we have a fruitful journey, because we are after equality and after equity, not equality per se. Yes, so that's what we do. And as a club, we have activities. They come together activities. They help us build the bonds between us. We do the bike riding activities. We do fun days. And one of the best is the swallowship that we always have every Friday after the meetings, where we share a cup of coffee. So our club, so far so good. We have achieved. We have a membership, and we appreciate the students' welfare. it has given us a platform to empower men and to have a place where we can be able to freely talk. So we have empowered men, and we have beneficiaries of the students. Most of them, they will share their stories and they can tell you where they were and where they are at the moment, because we have every Saturday we put it aside for reading books and discussing what you have read and actualizing whatever we have read. So that's what we do every Saturday. And next to me is one of the beneficiaries. Yeah, he can introduce himself.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Peter Mwaba. I am a final year student taking Bachelor of Education, Electrical and Electronics Engineering. So for me, I'm happy sitting here and being given a platform to share what I've benefited from this club. So I joined the club when I was in third year. That time I was undergoing an identity crisis, so it was refreshing, like a breath of fresh air, to join a club where you see the men call a spade a spade. So for me it was a new phenomenon, being somewhere where maybe the men, they talk the truth, someone will tell you about their journey, what they have achieved, what they have been through. So I can say that through the years that I've been in recruitment, I have been able to grow as an individual. My biggest wins being in recruitment, first of all, is that I was able to know maybe what I love, what I stand for. And just to give an example, by the time I've been in recruitment, I've come to know my passion for leadership and social work. And this helped me to start as a member from the recruitment until now when I'm the current organizing secretary. Also, it was a platform for me because I'm the former chair of the ADAP Educators, which is a club that teaches and educates our fellow students about drugs and acts as the bridge between the students and the Directorate of Student Welfare. Also, another thing, in the part of social work, I have also joined peer counselors, courtesy of the recruitment, and now I'm able to talk to my fellow men and encourage them to deal with the issues that affect them, especially the issues of mental health. Therefore, I would encourage men to join like-minded men, to join men who share the same visions, values, and ethics as they have, because when you work in a group of men, it's very, very beneficial. And for me, I'm grateful to the university for having such a club, and also to the leadership of the club for giving us a platform to grow as men. And I would encourage any other man who is not a member of maybe the good men in the university, or those who might view this, that work with men who share what you believe in, and you'll be a great beneficiary. Thank you for that question. Maybe I would give a small background to that. Growing up, I have grown up in what I would call a controlled environment. I went to boarding school, which was very strict in discipline. I went to a Catholic secondary school, also very strict. So coming to campus, now you have all the freedom, and at times it can overwhelm you because maybe you wonder what to do with your free time. And also there's this thing of idealism and realism. There is maybe how you think the world works, but now when you come, you see now how the real world is. So I started maybe questioning myself, and I'm like, what do I stand for? Like, you see maybe someone engaging in something and you have to make a decision, an informed decision. Should I do this? Should I not do this? So that was the issue I was dealing with. Like, you have now to know, what do you stand for? What don't I stand for? Which values do I want? Which values don't I want? Also, maybe as a man, you might see how the world operates, and maybe that's not how you thought the world is operating. So I would say for me, I was able to get people who held my hand early on, because I was very active in the co-curricular activities, so and clubs and societies. So I got people, and they seemed to have their life together. So you ask them, maybe, how are you able to achieve this? I can see you go to clubs, you go to games, and also your grades, they are very okay. So how are you able to do this? Whereas maybe for me, I feel like finding a balancing act for clubs, leadership, and studies might be a bit hard. So they held my hand, and now they introduced me to the club. So when I came to the club, maybe I was closed off because now you cannot just come and share your issues in the first day. But when now you come to the club and you see people are comfortable with what they have been through, people are also comfortable with what is going on, and you see the progress. Maybe someone tells you, I went through this and now I'm here. So that is what I would call maybe my Damascus moment that helped me turn. Being in that comfortable environment where people make you feel comfortable, and you see they are also comfortable themselves, and they hold your hand and tell you, you can go through this, but you can get help. I was there and now I'm here. I feel like the point that maybe where most of the people get lost is the point when you have to make a choice. Maybe in campus, it's when you make the choices that now make you. Maybe in secondary school, the life there is very controlled. The choices kinda are made for you. But now in campus, you come here and it's on a Saturday. You have to make a choice if maybe I go to the library or I go to the club. So the choice that you make in that particular situation will make your life. So for me, I feel like growing up in a controlled environment is very okay, if you ask me, because it's very okay if you are told this is right and this is wrong. Now the challenge comes when now you have the choice to make a wrong choice without anyone really telling you this is wrong or overseeing. So now that's the time maybe like someone really needs maybe something like the good man. People now who tell you if you make this right choice, it's the right choice. Yeah.
Let me first introduce myself by saying that my name is Dennis Kimutai. I am the president, the students organization of Dedan Kimathi University, and I work with a team. I'm not alone. Again, I am a student pursuing a degree in electrical and electronics engineering, currently in my 5th year. And not to forget, I'm currently serving the 2nd term as the president of the students organization of this university. Again, I'm also serving as the chair the student leaders that are located within Nyeri Town constituency here in Nyeri County. So to say, I've interacted with students, the youth, the men here in the university and outside the university within Nyeri County and even beyond Nyeri County to Narok County where I come from. Here in the university, to start with, as the Dekut Students Organization, we usually organize several events that brings together the students, both the ladies and the gentlemen. Let me just mention a few. We organize activities like fun days, where we have students coming to the field. We play several games, they interact together. We also have activities like Mr. and Miss Kimathi events, where we organize, we put some few resources, they come, they get entertained. At the same time, there is a message that we are passing to them. And why are we doing all this? It's because we want to breed that symbiotic relationship between the ladies and the gentlemen that are in the university. I'm sure you are not, you have not landed from the moon, and you are not a visitor in Jerusalem. There is always some conflict between the girl child and the boy child. And as a man, as an empowered man, and I belong to that club of the empowered men of the good, at some point I can say the girl child requires the boy child to love her more than the boy child loves himself. And that is where the problem comes in. Because you will find that the boy child needs to deprive himself of some things just to impress the girl child. That is now the discussion that we need to have today. But I'm also proud that the empowered men of the good usually hold their meetings every Friday of the week. And the kind of discussion that they have is not really to despise the girl child, but it's a discussion on how as men we can become better, as well how can we empower the ladies to fit into our positions, so that we can be able to work together and have a good relationship. And not to forget also, one of the challenges that men are facing is that there is a lot of, let me say, competition, because you find that the ladies of our age cannot be able to relate very well with the men of our age, because there are things that we are lacking. probably because of our age and status, financial status to be specific. And you'll find that there is a lot of pressure. The boy child needs to be loved by the girl child of their age, but the girl child is not available because you cannot be able to satisfy their needs. And again, there is a problem of unemployment. Now speaking on behalf of the men that are outside the university, let me give a case scenario. I and you today, we are here. If tomorrow you find a job opportunity somewhere, probably you know these men are competent, and you can decide to refer them the job opportunity. But then as a man, let us say that there was a lady somewhere that you are in a talking stage and things are almost making up. As I was saying, probably there was another lady somewhere. You know there are competent men that are fit for the job. But then you as a man, you know there is a lady somewhere, you are in a talking stage, and probably if you can refer that lady to this job opportunity, you might get a chance to clinch that position of being a boyfriend. Disregarding the fact that they are competent men and you've not considered the competence of the lady. So that's where the problem comes in, that men are not coming to support the men that they have been together. And that is where we start to complain. Somebody also was telling me that we are seated in a room like this today. Then somebody comes in and maybe he has something to give them. Somebody chips in now, he has 50,000. He calls one of us, for example, the chairman of the empowered men. He tells the chairman, I have some 50,000 shillings here. I can leave it for you so that you can share with the men. The chairman will be given that 50,000 outside. By the time he is coming in, the chairman will tell us he has been given 10,000. We share the 10,000 and we start a discussion of this nation is corrupt. Forgetting that you are the person who is starting that. So okay, just to cut you over. Now, when I say that the ladies are demanding more from the men that we have now, you know, in a setup like this is a university, and probably most of the students are dependent on their parents. I have a sister, she's also somewhere in the university. She's dependent on the parent that I'm also dependent on. But now when we are here, that lady, let us put for an example, the parent sends the lady 5,000 shillings a month. I'm also being given 5,000 shillings a month. You know, the ladies likes this fantastic life, materialistic life. They will probably go somewhere, make their hair, their nails, and now they come back to squander your little money that you have, that 5,000. I'm not saying that I'm trying to align men in the traditional way, but then we are also human and we are students. You are stressing that young man that you need 3,000 from the 5,000 that he has. That young man, yes, that young man has not yet paid rent. There is the upkeep. And just to chip in, during the men's conference this year, we had a men conference here in the Dedan Kimathi. It was attended by men. After that men conference, I'm not wrong to suspect that several men received a message that we have to talk from the ladies, and it's not a common talk. Probably if you don't make things clear, you'll be left and things will be tough on your side. So what I'm saying is that there is time for everything. When we are students, let us have a good relationship. If there is something that we need to start up, we understand each other, we go slow by slow. Then there is a time when I'll have things that are enough to share with you. Well and good, because I know you and we've been together for some time. I'll do it from the bottom of my heart. Again, let me just add on the introduction part of this university. This is the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology. It is the only university that was named after the Field Marshal Dedan Kimathi Washuri, the freedom fighter. And that is the reason as to why we really feel that this is the university where the courageous men, the men with confidence, and the fearless men should emanate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, and thank you very much for this time and for the invitation as well.
Asanteni sana.
Maybe just a summary, let me thank the Mantok 254 for giving us this opportunity to let our Dakota empowered men to air their views. There is a saying which says that when you are at a better position, it's good you can lend a voice to someone who is a bit down, and that's exactly what you've done. And for us as a university, and on behalf of the university management, we are very grateful as we head to the panel discussion on the Mantok issues. We hope everything will go well as well, and on behalf of the entire students fraternity, we are grateful for the opportunity as well, and we look forward to collaborating more and more in the coming years, and we hope the coming ones will be even bigger and better than what we are going to have today. So with that, thank you so much, and God bless you, and God bless Dedan Kimathi University. Thank you.